Welcome back to the Off-Air Podcast. It's me, Chris, also known as Mr. Phantastic, and with me always is John.
Mr. John, always known as Terminator, or the other guy who usually talks the most.
I thought you said Oh, okay.
Terminator.
I thought it was Terminator 30.
Terminator 30, Terminator.
I say, like, I guess it depends on what platform you're using. I don't know.
No, it's just usually when people call me by my username, they just don't say the 30.
Okay, just Terminator.
Terminator, or hell, Term.
Oh, really?
I've been called Term before.
Interesting.
It's easy. I don't care.
I guess, yeah. It's like your online friends.
Online friends.
And I guess Terminator 30 is just like the suggestion for when someone else has the name Terminator or Terminator with a 4 instead of an A.
No, I just like it. I'm the 30th edition.
Oh, Mark 30. Well, we've been off for a little bit. Yeah, we weren't live last week the week before.
We were gone for a month.
Yeah, we were taking vacations at like alternate times, so yeah.
Either that or equipment stopped working.
Yeah, that too. That was also happening. There was like 2 weeks where that happened.
Yeah.
Separately. Yeah. But hey, we're here. I mean, I don't know. Not everyone goes once a week. Anyway, there's a lot more pressing issues right now.
There's a lot.
Like, how did we get here?
Well,
that's the other thing is like this all came out of nowhere.
40,000 billion years ago.
No, hey, okay. I understand if you want to make a cookie from scratch, you have to start with the Big Bang. Let's skip the, you want
to skip forward?
Yeah, well, I understand it's a whole ceremony.
Then we had this guy named Jesus.
Further.
Yeah.
Last week. Yesterday, what happened?
Oh, all right. So let's start with the more recent news.
You want to go straight to weather?
That can wait.
Really?
I have something even more pressing.
Get the fuck out of here.
I actually do.
Okay.
All right. So yesterday.
Press X to doubt. Go ahead.
2K, the developers of Borderlands, the parent company of Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
They put out a trailer for their basketball game 2K20.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Another trap. I don't mean to hate anyone who plays sports games, but I mean just. Okay.
Retract your comment in a few seconds.
Okay.
With the last 2K19, towards the end, they started putting unskippable ads.
Wait, what?
On games. So if you wanna do your career mode, you can start, and then you get a fucking ad.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But that's last year's edition.
I don't think I've even ever heard of like a real ad in a video game.
Those are real quote unquote ads for the in-game universe.
Oh.
But still, you can't skip it. It's a cutscene that you can't skip.
Okay.
The game says it's 100% loaded. You still can't skip it.
That sucks. Okay,
go on. I believe
there's
actual. It's real. Yeah, it's advertisement for like TNT and stuff like that. Where they host basketballs.
Okay.
But
that's
not. We're not talking about last year's. We're talking about this year's now.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this. They basically made a casino game with a hint of basketball.
They turned the whole thing into gambling because of loot boxes or something?
No, worse.
What?
There's loot boxes. There's pachinko machines. There's roulette.
What?
And there's slot machines.
They did turn it into a casino, huh?
Yeah.
And this is all for the sake of of unlockables?
Collectibles. So you can
same thing.
So you can make your team the best.
Same thing.
This won't matter with the next year's edition or the year after that or after that. Every year is the same game. They just tweak the graphics.
Uh-huh.
That's it. New rosters and that's all.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The game's rated E for everyone. Or if we're using the United Kingdom, the European version of their ESRB, it's rated PEGI 3, which is 3-year-olds and up.
Yeah. Anyone can play it.
If you go to the ESRB website, simulated gambling is minimum of teen rating.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Gambling with actual money exchange makes the game rated A for adult only.
I see. I definitely see the issue.
ESRB is getting a backlash now. Because, basically it's a gambling game now.
No, it technically is because people are spending real money on this.
Kids are emptying bank accounts.
Yeah. Man, so this is getting even worse than what EA was doing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
What's funny enough, there's also news about EA this week as well.
Okay.
At the beginning of the week, EA came out and essentially said we fucked up. They admitted it. They said we hit rock bottom after...
It's about time.
They said we hit rock bottom after we realized that putting loot boxes in the Battlefront games basically destroyed us.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it destroyed a lot of the company.
Yeah.
So
like it's because it's so many problems. It gets into legal issues. It gets into fans not buying the games. It's already enough that there's legal issues with the fact that it is basically allowing gambling, which is highly restricted, and it is a new thing for video games, which is why it's so controversial right now. What alone the fact that there's also less restriction to where kids are getting into it, which is technically highly illegal, as well as excuse me. I don't think it was EA, but haven't there even been correct me if I'm wrong, but people have been fighting this legally.
Yeah.
There's been lawsuits against these companies.
There's been countries fighting. I believe the European Union actually started suing the game industry.
That's absolutely insane.
I believe the game industry, quote unquote, won, but then they're reappealing it because they're telling the judges and the panel something different. It's like, it's surprise mechanic. No. People who have their parents that are like, hey, listen, I'm gonna sit you down and I'm gonna explain it to you.
Right.
The one reason why everyone's even more pissed about the gambling with the casino and stuff like that, is because real life casinos, by law, in order to operate, their pay rate has to be 80% or more.
Yeah.
In order, basically, for them not to lose all the money.
Yeah, that's the other legal issue too. Yeah, that's the other legal issue too.
But there's no rules against virtual gambling.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that what in the case of a casino, they're making their money due to loss of people going to the casino, people paying to play. Whereas with these video game companies, sure, they are getting money from this, but that's not the primary source. They get money through video game sales. So this is just another passive source of income for them.
This is all
that so that legal part doesn't really apply to them. That they're basically running a virtual casino on a much higher scale, because these are thousands of games, thousands of people doing this all over the world playing these games.
I mean,
and each one of these companies has dozens of these games that do this now. It's become extremely common.
I was gonna say, the YouTuber I watch,
it's kind of gross.
What?
Just the whole.
It's disgusting.
Business tactic, yeah.
The YouTuber I watch his name is Angry Joe.
Oh yeah.
Very, very nice guy.
Oh, he's great, yeah.
Love
his reviews.
He has great reviews.
Yeah.
I believe he was talking about already you're paying $60 for the base edition.
That's right. For the vanilla game, which for today's standards is technically incomplete. Yeah. Especially if it's an online game, you're paying $60 for half of a game.
Yeah.
Regularly, which already is terrible.
Unless you're not CD Projekt Red, you're not buying the full game.
Exactly. That's become an absurd norm, but it's become a norm.
CD Projekt Red,
people can't be more pissed off about
Here's the thing: CD Projekt Red, who's a developer of Witcher and the soon-to-be-released Cyberpunk,
mm-hmm.
if they could put $20 in their box, they would.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how much they're actually giving you back. You're paying $60 for basically a game that's worth 80, 60.
Yeah, they put a lot of time and effort into their games, and they are very well completed games.
If you want to get a deluxe edition,
there's thousands of hours to be invested into them without even making a single transaction.
Yeah, because the reason why
that's how it should be.
The reason why I'm saying you're getting basically $20 back is because deluxe editions for a lot of games are $80.
Mm-hmm.
Collector's editions are usually up in the 120s minimum.
Right.
The collector's edition, I believe, is cheaper, and you get more.
Yeah.
The reason is there's a lot. I was listening. I believe it was one of the members from Rooster Teeth. I think it was their guy named Gus or Bernie.
Yeah, one of their heads.
They were basically on the early days of Xbox Live.
Oh yeah.
They were saying the internet technically ruined video games.
The internet and mobile gaming. I mean, didn't all this pay to win tactics start with mobile gaming?
We're gonna start from the scratch.
Okay.
Internet ruined video games because you can update the game later.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the main issue. That's why people pay full price for an incomplete game, is that companies are putting out incomplete games that they can update with the internet. Yeah.
Before the game even ships, it has to be 100% back then.
Yeah, it had to be. Otherwise, yeah, you had an incomplete game that would never be completed.
Right.
Online games can be completed later on, so people are still willing to buy it. But when they buy it, they're starting with an incomplete game, typically, that gets updated later on.
I forgot.
And it's not just like they're adding new content. No, they're like constantly when you buy a new game, it's littered with bugs. You know, you have an incomplete playing experience. Not just less things to do. It's a whole mess.
This is why Bethesda was being sued,
mm-hmm.
because one of the lawyers claimed saying, "You guys are selling something far less. It's not even considered incomplete at this point. It's just a theory."
Yeah.
And then you're just patching it to make it look down the road to look like it was already made what was promised.
Yeah, it's like if you were it's like if you wanted to buy a car. But when you got it, there was no wheels, no tires, no passenger seat, and no airbag. Those give it to you later on.
And you had a 50-50 of having the engine half installed.
Yeah, it's like...
Oh, no, it's your fault for buying the car like that.
Yeah.
No, you sold it to me like that.
That's right.
You told me it was a full car. You showed me a photo of it was a full car.
That's right. No, that's essentially what it is. Is that they advertise it to be a full product and they deliver, and it's far from complete.
16 times the detail. If you say that anywhere on the internet, everyone
tell
knows.
Me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
If you say that anywhere on the internet, people know where that reference
Oh,
is
yeah,
from.
absolutely. It just works. Yeah. No,
Skyrim will have infinite quest.
Infinite. Yeah.
Fallout 3 is going to have 400 endings. It couldn't even run on PC.
Yeah, no.
Technically, Skyrim does have infinite quest now.
Does it now?
With modding.
With modding, yeah, but that's due to the fans. That's not created by the company. They can claim to because they created the engine, or because they have their own modding platform that less people use. I feel like more people use the Nexus, but
yeah, the Nexus is very popular.
You remember when they tried to take the Nexus down and be like, no,
no, by law,
you can't.
You know why? Because they want to make money.
Yeah, I remember when Bethesda tried to do that. It's like, you can't. You legally can't do that.
I'm still upset at one of our friends who still plays Skyrim.
Oh, yeah.
On the console.
Yeah. Because you can mod on the console now.
Yeah, you can. No, but they bought the Creation Club.
Yeah.
Creation Club and modding is completely different.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because also on console, you can go to the modding section.
Yeah.
Which is all free.
Yeah.
Creation Club costs money.
Yeah, that's right.
Stop it.
Yeah. You're spending money on something that there's literally no reason to. It's the same thing with well, it's not as bad, but it's the same thing with GTA. People that play GTA 5 online.
Everyone keeps bringing it up. It's yes, I see, because it's all about, hey, you want to buy cash so you can do this and this.
Yeah.
Back then,
it's not even just that though. I mean, you can download cars and guns and costumes onto the game.
But it's mostly used for role-playing purposes at this point.
Oh yeah. Especially in the online game, people run different servers for all different types of purposes.
Oh, dude.
Some pretty cool ones where people were basically made like a virtual society, almost like what was it called?
There's different there's
Second Life. They basically made GTA Second Life, and it's amazing. Like you can be a cop, and yet you have to take everything totally seriously, or else you're kicked out. It's crazy.
I shit you not. I'm watching a streamer right now.
Yeah.
They're in the 3rd season of their fucking character.
Really? That's amazing.
The last season they ended where their character got shot by their cop boyfriend because they didn't know who it was. The cop boyfriend unloaded a full magazine of assault rifle into the chest. The quote unquote character died, and last night I found out the character the character quote unquote died, but they're actually in witness protection. And the boyfriend doesn't know that the character's alive at this point. And I'm like, holy shit, this is next level.
We gotta start a server series.
We should.
We really should. Whether it be GTA or Minecraft, like Carson is that server is absolutely insane. That is amazing.
He's a dictator now.
It's crazy.
Here's the thing.
For those of you that don't know, I'm gonna bring this up. Call me Carson. He's a YouTuber and Twitch streamer that's quickly rose to fame.
We don't have to explain who he is.
No, I'm just
YouTubers who I didn't even think had a connection to him know who he is.
Oh yeah, that's what it's become.
Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the format where it's him crying and then Family
He's a
Guy
meme.
Joe Swanson.
Yeah, it's crazy. This dude rose to fame
overnight.
Yeah, I mean it's been it hasn't even been a year yet.
No, actually no.
It's crazy.
And then he essentially was one of the persons that helped revive Minecraft entirely.
Yeah, because he made this server with a few of his friends, and now there's a bunch of other former Minecraft gamers, YouTubers that are on there, as well as a bunch of other renowned guests have been on there.
Live,
yeah, it's massive.
The rule is, in order to play the server, you have to be live.
Mm-hmm.
And you can accept money 2 ways. One, you set a price to have a quote unquote hit on a person.
Yeah.
Or 2, if you don't want to kill the person, you have to prank them.
Yeah.
Those are the only rules.
Yeah, it's genius.
Other than don't grief, don't destroy everything, and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Unless you're Carson.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah, they had a talent show the other day.
Yeah.
I haven't laughed so hard.
It's amazing, really.
It's amazing.
If anyone hasn't already, definitely check it out. Gotta say, it's brilliant.
All right, let's talk serious.
Okay.
It's like Philip DeFranco. We'll blindside you with the celebrities, but in reality, we're telling you the real news.
Okay.
All right.
I like how he said. I like how he knows that himself.
He's like, shit. Everyone knows who I am.
But go ahead if you want to bring up a serious topic now. If we really want to. No, we have a few. If you want to get to either one, I don't care.
Let's talk about what's the elephant soon to be in the room.
Okay. Hurricane
Dorian.
Yeah. Making its way to Florida, right where our studio is.
Yeah. I've been looking at
exciting.
That for the past couple days.
Yeah, same. It's a little nerve-wracking. So it's looking to get a little bit bigger than expected.
Been doing the math on my own.
Really? Meteorologist John over here.
Yeah. Every time I type in the numbers in calculator, it gives me a frowny face.
I feel like you might as well be immediate. There's literally not. I don't think there's been one episode where we haven't talked about weather because of you.
Actually, there's one.
This is gonna be no.
There was actually one.
What was that? When Costalot was here?
I believe so.
Probably.
No, never mind.
We even talked about it when Vita was on the show.
No, we didn't. Or the first episode.
The first episode?
No.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Hurricane Dorian is very interesting.
Yeah.
Not gonna say scary, nothing like that. It's very interesting storm. It has its own pattern at this point, where it was about to hit Puerto Rico, which Puerto Rico is usually the one country that actually stops hurricanes, other than Cuba.
Yeah.
Because they have a mountain range.
That's true, yeah.
Except this one turned off last minute, and it only skimmed it.
That's right, yeah.
So nothing slowed it down.
Yeah, it just swept past.
So, and then now it's sitting in the strait between Florida and Cuba, basically the outlet of the hot water stream.
Exactly.
And it's been powering up. Originally, it was supposed to hit land at 2, Category 2, then 3.
Now we're talking about possible Category 4 if it gets far enough
before it hits land. This morning they updated it. It's going to be 4 way before it hits land. Now my theory is it's slightly possible. It could turn Category 5 before it hit land, but it won't stay Category 5.
There's literally only one way that would happen, though.
Yeah.
Is if it keeps going around and then, curves its way through the Gulf. That's a sharp turn.
I kept telling everyone...
It's possible, but it's definitely the worst case scenario.
There's actually one hurricane that done this before, which was Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, that's true.
Back when I lived in Miami, Coral Gables, she crossed the entire state, then back into the Gulf of Mexico, and then immediately devastated New Orleans.
Yep.
Meteorologists, National Hurricane Center, all the people are agreeing. There's a slight 2% that she can this Dorian can recreate that same scenario.
Yeah.
And then there's a 1% chance where it doesn't even hit Miami. It just curves around the entire south and then just goes straight up the Panhandle.
Yeah, that's definitely a worst case scenario, but that's highly unlikely.
It's very unlikely. It's a literal 1%.
Yeah, it seems most likely it could still pass through Miami, but probably it's going to go more east towards Orlando and then up to Georgia.
Yeah.
By that time, it would power down going that far and land. But no, you're right. It is definitely possible that it could get a few more, quite a few more miles before it's land and get even stronger to Category 4 or 5. That would be absolutely insane. But people are already preparing here in Tampa, and I mean,
there's no water.
Exactly.
It happened again.
Yeah.
It's like it's Irma all over again.
Dude, I was in line to get gas at Costco yesterday. I was at the pump for must have been like 20 minutes just to get to it.
Yeah, luckily I filled up last week. On Sunday. No, it was Monday with premium, and premium lasts forever in my car. So if the event that I have to evacuate, I can pump out the gas from my tank and leave it dry.
It's possible. But yeah, people are already preparing. I mean, people are going to get paranoid in general just being in Florida at this time of year, especially with the pattern it's making.
It's all over. It's not. Fortunately, it's not like Irma where every hour it was a new pattern where they couldn't even figure out.
It was totally unpredictable.
That one was insane.
Yeah.
This one they can predict it a little bit, but they don't know exactly where it's gonna hit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like to say that people are already preparing in Tampa on the West Coast, and think about that's the Bay. So so people that live in Tampa, there's 2 types of people that live in Tampa that they have this different approach every year around this time. They either doomsday prep or they don't do anything. And normally, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, think about it. It would have to pass through the Bay, which is a very narrow canal, in order for a storm that massive to get through. And at the trajectory that Dorian is passing through, which tends to happen with other storms. Irma was an exception. And even then, Irma didn't hit us that bad. But there's a lot of land to pass through, starting whether it comes through Miami or if it goes all the way, if it stretches all the way up to Orlando. There's a lot of land separating us. So the worst, people are preparing for the worst possible case scenario that it curves through with the Gulf and goes straight for us.
But here's the thing: a lot of people up in the North States keep forgetting. Florida's not mountainous.
Yeah, well, that's the other problem that gets people paranoid is that we're below sea level and we're totally flat. So, sure, being on land will slow it down, but not nearly as much as like you said, Puerto Rico and Cuba tend to stop hurricanes faster than we do because they have mountains.
Because back with Irma, Cuba was hit the most with Irma.
Mm-hmm.
Although it wasn't reported, it was when I went to go see it when visiting family.
Yeah.
It's devastating because here's the thing. My grandparents live inside the land, towards basically inland. They're saying they were feeling the hurricane past the mountain ranges.
Yeah.
That's how powerful that hurricane was.
It's massive devastation. But also what I was going to say is that with being below sea level in Florida, the main thing that scares people in Florida is the massive possible amount of flooding. We're all in flood zones. There's possible storm surges up to, I'm not exaggerating, 18 feet. Just down the street from where we're recording this right now.
The mayor, I keep forgetting her name. She's a new mayor of Tampa. She was saying, back when, I believe it was Hurricane Matthew.
Yeah.
Or Irene, when she was police chief, she said she was lieutenant at the time. She said the one scariest issue with the storms is when it was predicted that all the water was going to reach the interstate height.
Wow.
That's far in.
That's really far in. Like even people far enough north, like say Elena Lakes, are starting to get just outside of flood zones normally. For it to go that far that's doomsday.
Last night I was actually reading. Air Force Base and Naval Port Jacksonville have been fully evacuated.
Yeah.
All military has been pulled out. That's not essential to like rescue missions. They're probably going to sit out in the Gulf, or they're going to be stationed out over more likely Texas or Louisiana.
Gotcha.
All right. This is the one. I'm going to talk to one thing about the United States president, and that's it.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything of my opinion.
Well, here we go. Getting a little bit political here. Okay.
One time we're going to get political. Our United States president, I don't know what number he is, commander-in-chief.
He's 45.
Still don't give a shit.
Okay.
Theorized, hey, we got some nukes sitting around.
Oh, God.
Why can't we just nuke a hurricane to stop one?
Oh, God. Oh, my. No.
Nature doesn't work like that.
No, not quite.
Either you move or you be moved. If you send off a nuke inside of a hurricane, the fallout will spread faster than you can see.
That would be absolutely insane.
You know the mushroom clouds?
Jesus Christ.
You know how, you ever seen the videos when nukes goes off, like the actual like wave of, when the wave of actual smoke passes you?
Mm-hmm.
Then add a hurricane in the middle. There you
go. Are we?
Yeah, we're in the Twilight Zone.
Is this happening? Is this real talk? Is this really what?
There's nothing to stop.
He said that.
Yeah. Official.
How did we get here?
We didn't. We were dragged here.
How? No, is this real? I'm hoping I wake up in a little bit and we can start this whole thing all over again. Be back in 2016 when times were simple.
No, go back to 2012 before the world technically ended, because it still hasn't felt real since.
From 2012? Oh, from what? I remember that. I remember when people were afraid of that.
I remember when we were done.
That was a simple time. No, that's.
I just want to wake up back.
That's funny.
I just want to wake up again in 2044.
What?
From this fever dream I'm having as a kid, and then I'm just an adult, just living in my cabin in the woods. Like, man, I have the fucking weirdest fever dream. Let me go out hunting again.
You think you're gonna have a cabin in the woods and be hunting in 2044?
Virtual woods.
Oh, okay.
Because woods are outlawed.
I'm like, what's gonna be? I'm talking about 2044. In fact, now you mention it, I'm gonna enjoy these simple times before we get to 2044.
How? You think you're gonna reach 2044?
Yeah.
No one's gonna reach that. Because guess what? Why not? Let's just burn all the forests at the same time.
Oh, you want to talk about the Amazon now?
That's why we're getting there now.
Okay, wow, great segue there. That wasn't, a little aggressive or anything.
The world's dying.
No, the world's gonna be fine. We're dying. The world's becoming inhabitable for humans. The world is gonna be fine.
We need more Elon Musk.
Mad at gas car. So, wait. So, yeah, the Amazon, huh? No, wait, we should talk about it. We should go about what the media isn't doing, or isn't doing enough of talking about serious issues. Yeah, the Amazon was on fire. Well, I mean, this was last week. This was last week, was it not? This became news.
Yeah. But for now, it's been 4 weeks since Amazon has been on fire.
Oh damn! Yeah, no, it's grown to be pretty massive. I mean, it's the world's largest rainforest.
Fire rates from all the years this year has been at 200% efficiency.
It's crazy.
It's been 200%, like, more known to actually be caused by fires.
Also, you keep in mind that, like, for the world's largest rainforest to be burning at this time of year, it really puts in perspective how dry it has to be in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
And what?
They're technically still in winter. Well, they're gonna go into spring now.
What?
Remember, they're on the other side of the hemisphere. South America.
On this, yeah, on the southern, I guess.
But still, it's that dry down there.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. For it to get to this point, and considering how much has burned out, how much has been decimated, it just puts in perspective, how much of a significant change there has been done to, to this environment. It's not normal.
It's all again. It's gonna be all politically motivated.
Yeah.
Like, everyone won't get too deep into detail, but all I've known is the policies to prevent this have been all stripped. They've been stripped down for industry, all of that, by the I believe the Brazilian president. I don't know what they have. What the leader?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So corporations operating in Brazil they're not controlling any sort of regulations for them as far as
instead of preventing fires, they're basically almost in a way encouraging it. And then when we're calling it out, we're being told, "No, you guys are just spreading lies, and you're encouraging this."
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just to put in perspective why the Amazon rainforest is so important, it makes up 20% of the oxygen production on Earth.
Yeah, that's huge. That's wow.
Here's to put a perspective: if all the Everglades in Florida catch on fire, it won't make a dent. If all the Amazon rainforest burns, there's gonna be a lot of health issues that a lot of people won't see until 2 generations or less.
I'm sure. That's huge.
Y'all ever seen Interstellar?
Hear
me out.
Oh my God! What?
Hear me out. Well, yeah. One of the characters' nephew, or nephew.
Yeah. Oh, you're actually using this as an example. Okay, go on.
Basically.
I thought you were just joking.
No. Interstellar.
It's like, oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Oh wait, we're actually going. All right. No. Interstellar. No, because to be honest, it's kind of like making sense of how the world is being molded.
Okay.
Interstellar, they have a lot of issue with crop blight, which is destroying crops, and they're not reusable ever again.
Right.
In that universe, they have bad sandstorms because the ground is not covered in foliage or anything like Down the road, one of the character has a nephew. They're checking up on his health, and they're seeing that his lungs are closing on him because the air is becoming more and more less breathable.
Mm.
Of course, later down the road, they live in space. That's not important. It's showing that, one, humanity, you can say anything you want, we still evolve. But issue is we don't evolve fast enough.
Oh yeah, no way. At the rate that our world is changing due to our actions, it's just not possible. You can't possibly catch up.
Yeah.
What we need to do is make the right choices and use our innovation, use our abilities to our advantage in order to make a change for the better. And everyone has an impact, especially those in power.
Right now, this is an update from my actual job. I've started becoming one of the guys who's actually help improving production efficiency. One of my suggestions was recently, let's add solar panels to the roof. They can be cooled down by the condensation from the air conditioning.
Okay.
I'm not saying the whole building has to run only on solar power.
Yeah.
It can be, the building can have solar power to alleviate the amount of power waste we're using.
Yeah, it's a start.
It's a start. We're making a less of an, I want to say we want to make less of impact.
Yeah.
We'll be spending less, but of course the price is going to be high first.
A lot of companies and residents in Germany are already doing that. In fact, it's come to the point where in Germany you can sell your own power.
Yeah. Denmark as well.
Yeah.
Denmark, they actually paid their residents.
Yeah.
Instead of charging, they actually paid them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing. Well, I mean, it's not exactly the same thing. So in Germany, it's become, or even there's a program set up to where, let's say you have your house running on green power. You're making your own power supply. You can sell, power that your excess power that your house is generating through, whether it be solar panels or what have you, to companies. So that's become a source of passive income for some people, just like how some people say invest money into real estate. It's become something to where people invest money into energy over there.
I was talking to my stepfather because he also works on solar panels.
Yeah.
He used to work on it up in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they work. There's one small downside to them. They have to be cooled down. If not, they become way too inefficient.
Oh, yeah.
Down here in Florida, yes, they work. You could put them on roofs, but they're going to overheat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially with the heat we get here. Yeah.
There's a reason why if you see solar farms, they have so much space below them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not wasting space. They're actually trying to keep it cool.
Yeah, that's something that turns people away from it, is how they need to be cooled, especially down here.
They don't realize.
People ask about it, but they don't realize, how much of a game changer that is with overheating. This is still tech we're dealing with.
Elon Musk, when he revealed Solar City,
yeah,
where basically it's solar panels built into the roof tiles. Yes, it works because there's actual space between the rafters and the roof. All you have to do is just basically cool down the inside of your attic.
Right.
And they could work.
Yeah.
They did drop tests on it. You can drop 50 pounds directly on one of them and it cracks it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Won't destroy it. Other than that, there's a lot of new green renewable technology.
Oh yeah, it's improving pretty quickly. Technology is improving pretty quickly in general. So with the amount of effort going into this, we hope that we can make a difference.
I have a personal experience over in California.
Oh yeah.
Where I didn't know how intensive their actual recycling program is.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a plastic water bottle, you can take it to a station and they'll pay you.
What?
They'll pay you to recycle.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's an old thing. People were. I mean, I don't think you can still do that, but that was a thing like quite a while back where people would get just extra money from recycling cans, and bottles. That was like something that kids did back in the day. It's just so common now where I don't really know if that's even a thing.
You can. I just don't understand why people don't.
Well, I mean, I don't. Is it really? Because I mean, like for example, here in Hillsborough County, uh, every house is required to have a recycling bin.
Yeah, but how
They provide it.
Yeah.
You don't get paid for it.
No.
They give it to you, and they take it just like trash.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I don't know. It's
Like that's how much recycling is implemented now. Same thing in office campuses and school campuses. There's recycling bins and recycling collection everywhere. It's provided. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, for how normal it is, I don't see how anyone would find a way to make money off of it.
I don't know at this point.
Like I just don't know if that's a thing because of how common recycling is now. No, there's anything wrong with that, of course. I mean, it should be this normal.
I was just pointing out how
it's not an end all be all though. Recycling, because it's not consistent. A lot of people don't know. And if you don't know, take this as a PSA or just for your information. That not everything is recyclable. And I mean, I'm not just saying that like plastic bags aren't recyclable. It's not just that. Recycling materials need to be clean. A lot of people don't know that. Like when they try to recycle, like, let's say a beer bottle, because it has trace amounts of whatever was inside,
right,
that would be thrown away in a recycling complex if it's not salvageable, or if it was kept in a container with other dirty materials, they wouldn't take it. They just end up throwing it away. Same thing with like pizza boxes. That's a common thing. And so for a lot of people, it's not even worth taking the gamble to recycle, and more people are just using less disposable goods entirely. And that's really a more sustainable way of doing things, is that, instead of, I mean, well, depending on where you live, this isn't possible, but instead of, for example, having bottled water, just, have tap water, have filtered water. That's just an example. Like, people are trying to get rid of, disposables they get to use, and just use reusable goods. Not that recycling's bad. I'm just saying that, like, that's become a common norm. That people are just doing away with disposable goods entirely. And some companies are pushing for it now, because one of the biggest reasons why we started using plastic in the first place, because it's so cheap to make, and because with using disposable goods, people come back to, well, for one, it attracts people because it's convenient, because they don't need to keep something. Excuse me. As well as it's better for companies because it's cheaper in manufacturing for them to sell their goods. Now the opposite is happening, to where companies are pushing. Well, some companies are doing this, some aren't. But there's companies that profit from making durable goods because that's their product. But other companies, like, say, Snapple or like Hubert's Lemonade, they like sell glass, their product in a glass bottle. It thereby makes their product more expensive. So it may turn some people away, but some people, they're willing to do that because of that, impact in their minds.
right,
As well as it gives them something that they can reuse if they want to. And then there's also the strategy of selling something that's reusable, so that way they can bring it back, like at theme parks and arenas. You get those like souvenir cups.
Yeah, sorry. I just got an update from Hurricane Dorian.
Oh, okay.
She's not Category 2.
Category 2?
Yeah.
Okay. And where is it right now?
Bahamas just enacted a hurricane watch. She's, I don't know, where is it? Sorry for throwing all of you guys off.
It's like, I mean, I was kind of just rambling there anyway because you were searching for that.
No, it's because like I was reading this update and all that. It's 400 miles east of Northwest Bahamas.
I see. That's category 2. Okay.
The actual hurricane's moving at 10 miles per hour, so it's even slower than when it was originally.
Damn.
10 miles per hour. It's gaining a lot of speed.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of strength. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the hurricane right now is estimated at 250 miles wide.
Mm-hmm.
But before it hits landfall, it should reach 380 miles wide. That's estimated.
Yeah.
The estimation can grow even higher if it has to. Because Hurricane Irma, originally, she was 480 miles wide.
Yeah.
Before Cuba cut it down. And then it took a toll on both Miami and Key West.
Damn.
Yeah. Sorry for throwing everyone off.
I mean, no, it's still news. I mean, I was about to finish my point anyway. Really, all I was getting to the point to is because we were talking about like sustainability basically, and we got into the topic of recycling. How it's become super common, but also like there's this whole new movement to where people don't even want to recycle. They just want to use reusable goods and do away with disposable goods. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's all progress. It's all in the same good intentions, and I find it interesting how that's affecting the market at this point.
Yeah, it's really all
mostly due to our generation and millennials.
right.
It's just becomes such a popular thing. It's become an impact.
Don't you remember when we used asbestos? I remember. We had.
What is it?
I had asbestos cereal, asbestos brake pads.
I want to drive a Cadillac in hot pink with baby seal eyes with the headlights in all leather cow interior and just stuff my face with good old McDonald's Big Macs with the original styrofoam containers, throw them right up the side.
While driving 110 miles per hour.
Well, 1 mile at the gallon.
Oh my God, I love that song.
I'm an asshole. Yeah.
Dennis McCleary.
Yeah. Check it out if you haven't already. It's a great song.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. Oh, I have his book right here.
Yeah.
Should get him on the show. What is it? Oh, yeah. Why we don't suck and why we need to stop being such bipartisan little bitches. It's interesting.
And then
John got that book from me.
for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then he had I think that's a sequel.
Oh, yeah, he has another one called Why We Suck.
Yeah, when we do suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shoot.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So all I'm saying at the end of the day is go out to your local forest and set it on fire at this point.
What the fuck?
Help the environment speed up the process of
Did you say it on the show, or was it like just in conversation with me where you were talking about the fires in California from last year and prior? They're like, oh, what if it was just arson? What the fuck?
No, it's not what if. They are arson.
Oh, okay.
It's arson and both campfires and trash fires.
I mean, though technically, yeah, it's like
It's
unintentional.
arson.
It's
It's all arson.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they have firework restrictions.
Oh yeah, there's a reason why fire is like there's so many restrictions about it because of California's climate. It's dry.
And
it's
it
very
doesn't-
very dry.
It doesn't help that they're also on water restriction because they're spending all the water on fucking fires.
People just need to stay hydrated, man. And
Man, fuck your smooth skin.
What? What?
Fuck your smooth skin.
Are you saying you're a ghoul?
Maybe.
This is California, not the new California Republic. Anyway.
All I'm saying is Mad Max is one step closer from being a documentary.
Oh my god. What I'm saying is that the planet is on fucking fire.
God damn, California looking over here like Mad Max. God, I love that one.
Okay. Any other jokes aside, we should mention next month, September 21st, we are gonna be at Clearwater. There's gonna be a coastal cleanup. We're gonna be there at 10 in the morning. September 21st is a Saturday. If you want to see us there, there's gonna be another. Give me 1 second. There's gonna be another YouTuber over there collaborating with us. And she's on Instagram as easy.life, and she's also running the. We should get her on the show. I'll probably ask her about it when we do meet up with her. But she's in West Palm Beach. Yeah, on Instagram, she's easy.life, as well as she's running a second page called Recycle Your Habits. That's just all about, sustainable living, different choices you can make and improve your impact and make your carbon footprint a little bit smaller. If I can just bring up her YouTube, because I don't want to butcher any names.
If you guys actually
My
do
bad.
want to meet up with us, you guys are more likely to see me in a palm hat.
You have a palm hat?
I do. It's hanging on my wall.
Like a palm frond hat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had it made in Mexico.
What the? I'm trying to navigate YouTube, like.
What are you, millennial?
No.
You boomer?
What?
Yeah,
I'm not a boomer.
You're a damn boomer. Boomhauer.
We're actually already, like,
decent.
Getting through our time faster than I expected. If I can just pull this thing up. Where is it? Can I just say, I really hate YouTube's current format for their mobile, yeah.
It's better than what they had originally.
It is, but I don't know, man. I just don't care for the design. Am I on the wrong?
You're on the wrong YouTube app. You have to be on the YouTube original app.
No, Oh, the one that looks like an old TV.
No, fuck that. No, you're on YouTube. What, kids? YouTube, music.
I'm on YouTube.
2009 or 2019?
What are you talking about?
I'm rambling, dude. I'm tired. I haven't slept.
Give me 1 second. God damn it.
Shoot. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a coastal cleanup.
There's gonna be a group of us there, actually. God.
It'll be a hot minute.
Damn it.
Come out. We'll sign some autographs. We'll sign your shirt.
Oops, okay. Emily Zelaya. She is running her own YouTube channel. Link will be in the description of this if you're watching this on YouTube. And she's also on Instagram as easy.life, and she's running Recycle Your Habits. So those links will be in the description. Definitely check out Recycle Your Habits, and if you do want to meet up with us or just be part of a coastal cleanup, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, or if you're in St. Pete or Clearwater, we're gonna be in Clearwater September 21st. Mark your calendars. Did we have anything else? Like the biggest topics were kind of that.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna talk some YouTubers, but that's it.
Oh really? Like what? Some YouTube news?
No,
we haven't had YouTube drama in a while.
I don't give a shit.
It's been a quiet time.
I don't need to know it.
Okay.
Alright, fine. You want to know about YouTube drama? Fine. YouTube's own PewDiePie got married.
That's not drama. That's
news. He hit 100 million.
Good for my boy Felix, man. Gotta say.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. Didn't he also recently get back on Minecraft?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
He just beat the Ender Dragon.
He did it all in 1 week. Yeah, he beat the Ender Dragon, got married, and reached 100 million. That's amazing, really.
What I was gonna say was, there's 2 channels that I've been watching again for the past couple of days.
What's that?
One is, his name is Dan Bell.
Mm-hmm.
He has a series called the Dead Mall series, where he basically goes through the history of the mall from the beginning all the way to the current day, where basically it's a show of its former glory.
Wow.
All with having like vaporwave music in the background.
That's
so
cool.
It's giving you that sense of nostalgia.
We should start showcasing a YouTuber once a week.
We should.
Just
And then there's a second channel called Bright Sun Films, where they go over the history of a lot of like companies, either from bankruptcy to abandonment. One of his more famous one is Disney's Treasure Island. We're off in the actual park of Disneyland, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
There's an island that's been untouched for years after Disney just left it to rot. Yeah.
In Orlando?
In Orlando. This island used to be what Animal Kingdom was based off of.
Oh.
It was an animal sanctuary. All that you go there for on a ferry. Basically they called it a half-day attraction.
I see.
Then Disney built Animal Kingdom and opened that up, basically making that island obsolete.
I see.
It's very interesting because he goes through a lot of the history. He'll talk to the designers, talk to like certain people who were actually higher up in the company.
Speaking of Disney, do you want to talk about this drama that people are talking about really quick before we close it?
What's that?
Are you serious? My boy Spidey.
Who?
So, as I'm sure many of you know, we want to talk about
Spidey got clapped.
The issue surrounding Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU. So let me break this down really quick because I feel like there's some confusion about the issue.
Yeah,
people were asking why Disney doesn't just buy Sony or buy Spider-Man. So let's go way back. Let's go back to the 90s real quick. Back when Marvel was an independent comic book based company that, had never put out a successful movie, back before they still owned everything that everything that they made, right? They were going bankrupt back then. The only thing saving them was that they were selling they were making comic books as well as they had their TV series that was airing on Disney Channel. Was it Disney Channel? I don't remember. That was airing like the old Spider-Man TV shows, the X-Men TV shows, the Incredible Hulk.
It was on Fox Kids.
Oh shit! It was originally on Fox. Okay, yeah, you're right. It was originally on that's right. It was the Fox box, the Saturday morning cartoons. Anyway. So Marvel was going bankrupt, and so they had an offer from Sony. So originally, Marvel wanted to sell literally everything, but Spider-Man. They were going to offer the rights to every single Marvel hero, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, all of them to Sony, but they will keep Spider-Man. And I'm gonna say I'm paraphrasing, but it wasn't really that far from it. You can find the quote for this. That executive for Sony back then was saying, "Nobody gives a fuck about those superheroes. We want Spider-Man." So the deal was Marvel kept everything except they gave They sold the rights to Spider-Man. They just kept the creative rights to Spider-Man. So they sold marketing as well as marketing, licensing, and film rights to Spider-Man to Sony. And then
allowing them to still keep the actual comic book rights.
Exactly. So Marvel would still write the comic books. Even they were even able to write the movies. They just couldn't produce them. As well as box office revenue went to Sony, as well as they were able to sell video games and toys. And that years later in the early 2000s we got the Toby trilogy, right?
Apparently they want him back. I doubt it.
Are they really considering getting Toby back?
Apparently people say, "Oh yeah, there's gonna be a fourth one." I'm sorry, where's
so what was the last like big film Tobey Maguire in? Was it The Great Gatsby?
I think it was.
He hasn't been doing much lately.
Yeah, because he's fallen from grace. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not just that though. I mean, people make different choices and they fall out of their acting careers and they end up doing other stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what happened with him, is that he started doing something else.
Hold on, let me see what was the last movie he did.
Well, while you're doing that, let me go on with this story so people can understand this.
Oh, hold on, I'm sorry, I just found it.
Okay.
The Boss Baby.
He was in Boss Baby?
Apparently so. He's credited in it.
Okay, so he's doing voice Sony's Spider-Man movies didn't really do well, right? But Spider-Man still makes a lot of money. Okay, Spider-Man alone makes $1.3 billion a year. That's more than the box office sales for Endgame.
Yeah.
That's Spider-Man by himself, selling toys and video games and Far From Home tickets.
And they're back on sale again.
Yeah.
Because they have an extended cut.
So Spider-Man is Spider-Man is the most valuable superhero in the world. Yeah. That's more than Batman. That's more than all the DC movies put together. That's more than the Dark Knight trilogy. Spider-Man makes more money than any other superhero in the world. Okay, so this is a big deal. Okay. So also at some point, back when Disney bought Marvel, they actually were able to get back marketing rights. So here's what's weird. The marketing and licensing rights for Spider-Man and Marvel is a little bit spread out. Of course, Disney owns the licensing and marketing rights for Marvel, with the exception of Spider-Man.
Right.
Because they got some of it back. But we also need to keep in mind that Universal is still selling Marvel merchandise at their theme parks.
Yeah, because they have a whole section for it.
Yeah, they're able to pay they're able to pay Disney and Sony royalties in order to keep those rides and those stores up, because that's literally how much they make off of ticket sales and merchandise sales, especially from Spider-Man. Right? Okay, and now we're at this point where Spider-Man in the MCU has become huge. In fact, Spider-Man is set up to be the spotlight for the next phase of the MCU. Now with Captain America and Iron Man being gone, they're not coming back. Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.'s contracts are over, and they're going to move on with their acting careers. It's been great. So now we're at this point where Disney realizes, hey, we want to make more Spider-Man movies because he's going to be a really big player in this massive franchise we have established with Marvel Studios, and Sony is still taking a large portion of the profit on box office sales on any movie that Spider-Man is featured in, let alone the solo Spider-Man movies, which they want to do more of, right? At least, right now Tom Holland is signed for one more movie. So we are supposed to get one more, regardless as to all this drama. Regardless as to all this drama that's still being negotiated, he's still signed for one more movie. The question is, are we going to see him for any more movies, like future, Avengers, or it's going to be any more? Because, like I said, he's going to be the spotlight for the following phase, and probably they want him to be around for a while. But since Disney wanted to negotiate increasing their shares on Spider-Man, Sony wanted to pull out of the whole operation because they're making bank off of Spider-Man. Sony doesn't make good movies. Sony makes a large majority of their profit off of music, because they have their music group. They own several different record labels similar to Time Warner and Universal, as well as they have PlayStation, and they have Spider-Man. So for them to lose shares on Spider-Man was a pretty big deal for them as far as their current situation as a company. However, so people are wondering, well, why doesn't Disney just buy Spider-Man or buy Sony? The mouse has gotten way too fat. So Disney is huge. Disney owns Marvel. Disney owns Lucasfilm and LucasArts. Disney owns ESPN. Disney owns ABC. Disney owns Fox. I'm not making any of this up. These are all names that they own. They don't own Fox News, but they own, Fox Network. They own ABC Action News. They own ESPN. They're coming out. Disney is now putting out their own streaming service that's probably gonna have different packages.
Packages
they have their theme parks that are only making more and more every year, let alone sales they get from merchandising, from video games.
Disney makes a lot of money, and
so if they were to buy another especially a company the size of Sony, they would be entering the realm of a monopoly to the point where the government would have to crack down on them, and they would end up losing a lot of what they would lose a significant amount, possibly most of what they've built up to this point, and like all the companies that they've purchased and have made their equity on, made their influence on, they would lose those privileges if they were to make such a play as to buy Sony, and they can't buy Spider-Man because that would also put Sony in jeopardy, as well as just the whole. It's a lot of legal issues.
There's one also as well that they're trying to see if they can wait out the rights contract.
Mm-hmm.
Issue is if Sony puts out another movie, it refreshes the contract.
Yeah. So
meaning, let's say if somehow they don't make the movie in time, the contract doesn't go up, it could technically revert back to the original owner.
Yeah.
aka Marvel Studios.
Yeah. So, but here's the other thing too, though, is that because fans are paranoid about getting another Spider-Man reboot, and Sony's not in the position to do that. After seeing how the Amazing Spider-Man films failed, and seeing where their film resources are right now, they can't afford to put out another Spider-Man reboot. So that's one thing that fans don't have to worry about, but we could see a major hiatus for Spider-Man in the film industry if things don't go well, if things aren't properly negotiated. So it's either we're not going to be seeing Spidey after a while after the next film that Tom Holland is in, or either Disney or Sony is going to have to take one for the team and split these checks to make it work for the fans. But I don't know.
I read this fan post the other day. It says, when Marvel finally introduces Deadpool to the MCU, I want to see Tom Holland hanging out in sweatpants and a bathrobe on Wade's couch. Not Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
Oh my God.
Oh wait. And when Nick Fury freaks out and goes, "What the hell, Parker? This is where you've been?" Deadpool leans in and is like, "Shh, you can't call him that anymore."
Oh no.
He's in Sony Witness Protection Program.
That's fucked.
And Tobey Maguire walks past in the background eating a bowl of cereal. And then you hear Andrew Garfield shouting from the kitchen, "Does anyone want toast?" Blind Out agrees.
That would be amazing. Oh my God.
Basically, all of us like, yeah, we've been here.
Yeah.
Like they're at.
They're just hanging out in Wade's apartment. That would be amazing. Oh my God.
You know how much money I'll actually pay for that?
Oh yeah, I pay good money if that's to be in the possible next Deadpool. Oh my God.
We finally acquired Deadpool, and then we lose.
What would it be worth losing Spider-Man though? I mean, I hope that regardless as to what happens, that they do, and they probably will make jokes about Spider-Man if they make a new Deadpool movie.
It's like, finally, when I finally join your universe, you guys get rid of the one guy I loved.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, in the comic books, won't say best friends. Deadpool thinks he's best friends with Spider-Man. Spider-Man despises him.
Exactly. It's a whole gag. It's been around for forever, and people love it. Yeah.
Where there's one comic book where Deadpool finds Spider-Man unconscious.
Yeah.
Strips him down, covers his face though. He's like, "I don't want to know who you are."
Oh God.
Puts on the Spidey suit and then just runs out to go pretend he's Spider-Man.
God. Anyway,
that's your weekly what the fuck is going on in world news.
Seriously, man, it's a mess. Good God.
Wait, that's not even a quarter of the stuff we
covered. How did we get here?
We're not talking about the trade war. We're not talking about Hong Kong.
Oh God.
We're not talking about who? UK?
Maybe. Oh man, I don't. We don't have enough time. We don't
There's
have.
not
We
enough
don't have enough time to get into all this. Maybe next week. Come back next week.
If there's even a next week.
And I shut up. Come back next week. We also just a little bit of quick news on Phantastic Productions. Our fall merch is now on the store. Check it out. All of our links are in the description as always for our website. My personal channel. As well as all of our social media outlets and all of our affiliate links for all the gear we use to make this happen is in the description. Check that stuff out, or just check out our kits on kit.com. Be sure to check out easy.life and Recycle Your Habits on Instagram. Link for that are in the description as well. And I think I'll also put the link for sign up for the coastal cleanup. Again, that'll be September 21st. At Clearwater Beach, 10 a.m. We will be there.
You will see the cleanest sand you ever see.
Yeah. And our show will soon be on Spotify and Apple on the podcast app.
So you guys don't have to come here, sit on a computer. Now you can take me and I can yell at you.
There you go. Yeah, or on your headphones. You guys will hear about it first when it is live. It should be as soon as next week. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching and sitting and just hearing our voices in your eardrums. See you next week. Oh, and this week's episode is brought to you by
Hurricane Dory.
Oh God.
We're here. Sometimes we're not.
Oh God.
Anyway, I didn't find a sponsor this week.
Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Sure.
I wonder what I should have right now. We have plenty of eggs.